Hello and welcome to Saturday Strolling with the Orchids on another Sunday. This time it wasn't that I forgot it was Saturday. So yesterday I got up my usual time, about 5:36 in the morning, and drank some coffee, fiddled around with the ladies, and started feeling kind of I said, well, let me just go lay down a little bit, see if I feel better. Well, that never happened. I never got out of bed, so here we are. Now let's start on the bench. So I did move this oncidium and the zygopedilum because this poor zygopedilum leaf kept getting hit when we'd open the store. So move that. But my actually that's a zygonesia, I believe. I'm not sure. Zygopedilum, zygonesia, not doing anything. But my two Mursaki I don't know why I can never say this name, guys, but those that I recently repotted and separated, both of those growths are doing rather well, especially this one back here. Look how quickly it's grown. And then the Macon, let's see, is that what this is? Yeah, the Celtic Sun Maya. I'm at a loss for words right now, but that new growth is coming right along as well. And then the Wilsonera, her latest growth back there is still continuing. She's not bulbing out yet, she might not. And then this is the Catatante Orange Kiss, the one I broke the new growth on, trying to get the sheaths out of the way to allow roots to go down. And according to Carmen, the orchid gods are predicting 2 new growths on this lady. Remember that. And then this one here is the Militasia spectabile here. Spectabilis, not spectabile, spectabilis. I want to repot her, like I said the last time, because this new growth right here is producing roots. She's also producing a spike. So I am trying to figure out what kind of pot to put her in, because from what I understand, they do tend to spread and they can climb. So I may end up mounting her. I haven't quite 100% decided, but I will decide in the next couple of days because I do need to get her out of this pot because there's just so much bark I can put in here to keep her from putting roots outside. I think that's it on this one. Oh, and then my Porpox is still doing well on this mount here. As you can see, just staying nice and green. I have not lost any, no leaves or anything, so pretty excited about that one. And then the 2 fertilizer experiment orchids here are doing rather well. And my Phalaenopsis schilleriana that I got from Norman's is growing her nice new leaf, and she's not, from what I can see yet, senescing any, so fingers crossed that continues. The Phalaenopsis my2 King Bellina is fattening out her leaf here. I don't know if you remember how thin it was when we looked at it a couple of weeks ago, but she's starting to fatten that thing out. And it's still a little tender along the edges, so she's not quite done with that yet. And let's go up here slowly. The girls in the baskets are doing well. Look at that big juicy leaf coming in. On Yin Yang, again, it's a no ID. And then Velvet, no ID. That leaf to the right is doing rather well. And then my 2 here that are community basket, don't see any new leaf growth, but her root tips are activated. Look at that beautiful red tip. Oh my goodness, just love it. And then of course the Vin de Pacheret is really bringing out that leaf now. And this one here, Peaches, is the one that I am going to re-media. I'm not going to repot her. I'm going to figure out how to get that media out, put media in without disturbing her. And a few of you have mentioned that you would like to see that. So as soon as I get the logistics on that, I will be filming that for us. I did move my Fred Clarkia After Dark on this side, and I put my Sonochi's Wine Delight on that side just for aesthetic reasons, because when I would look at it like this, it was just too busy with the big Paphiopedilum right there. Aesthetically for me, I wanted to kind of balance out the corners, so that's why she moved. No other reason. My Paphiopedilums are all doing rather well, growing new leaves, getting big and strong. And then the Spring Pleasure, the one that was having some issues, is still holding on, and I see I need to water her. So she's going to be here until she isn't. Let's just put it that way. And then my Ninja Orchid, or otherwise known as the Chateladeae, Cornucervi variation Chateladeae, lovely leaf continuing, and then nice new root growth in there as well. And then the Paphiopedilum here, she's just loving her life. Like, she loves this east-facing window. Lots of growth going on in there. We've got a new leaf popping out there, new leaf popping out there. And then my Schilleriana, my original, thought was going to grow a leaf. I still think I see something in there, but you know what? She's growing roots. See that beautiful root tip coming down? So I'm just going to let her be. Then the Shrek Super Brown that I recently repotted into this square pot from the Orchid Supply Store, which, guys, these have become like my favorite small pots. I love them. I do. So if you want one, or if you go to the orchidsupplystore.com, use coupon code TRISH and get you some of those pots for 12% off, and go ahead and add some other stuff to your basket, because they also sell bark and moss and, of course, plants, not just orchids. And then over here we have the DTPS G-Hose Pink Girl, who finished this leaf here. I moved her up here because I needed the space down there, and she has started on a new leaf. Then we have this one here, which is the Foul She Fang Savory Orange. She is a clone. Now, I was kind of expecting these blooms to be a little more orange, but I still like them. Look at them. They're pretty. And I really think, I'm trying to find a picture, because I think that one is the same thing. I believe the blooms are almost the same. I'll have to wait and see. And then this one I moved from the small room in here. Again, I needed her space. This is just a no ID. She's a purple with some splash in her, but since she's bloomed for me, let's see, I got her back in May of last year. She's grown these two leaves and is working on this beautiful one here. And then my Lycaste is starting to leaf out. Look at this. Oh my goodness, look at that. Loving it, loving it. This is the only Lycaste that I have. It's the first one that I got. I received it as a surprise. I still don't know who got it, who sent it, along with the Miltasia we're going to be looking at here. And is there anything else on the top? I always forget to show you guys stuff. And then the Falcata back here, Vanda, reclassified as a Vanda, but will always be a Neo-Phoenicia as far as I'm concerned. There will be a care collab on the 15th of this month, July, that Miss Nina over at Ninja Orchids is hosting, so be sure to keep a lookout for that. And then Miss Spotty back here, the Tolumnia that I got from Yoshi a few months ago, not even a few months ago. Yeah, in April, okay, I guess a few months ago. Look at that new growth. Beautiful. And then I believe I see a new growth coming down there. I don't want to mess with it too much, and you know, I've been known to break a new growth or two here lately. And then the Epilea Cattleya Renee Marquis variation Tyler. I believe, guys, I don't know, but she's had this little sheath on there for a couple of weeks now, well, a few weeks, but she is also continuing to push out this new growth, and she has, let's see if I can find it. I thought, yep, there it is. A new eye budding right there. So we may end up with two directions of growth on this beauty. And hopefully one day we will see her bloom. I have to be careful. I have my watering table behind me. And then down here is the Work Orchid. She's one of the yellow ones. So she's gaining her strength. Again, I want to make sure that she's fully recovered before I take her back to work. And then this one here is one of the Young Home Pinks that is pushed out this leaf, and look at the beauty on this one. Now this is a miniature, so imagine she might get bigger. This is the rescue from October that came with this leaf that she finished. This is the latest one that she put out, and now she's working on another one. And she has, let's see if I can do this without dropping her, all kinds of roots going off into that pot. And I think I'll wait till next year and repot her into something bigger. Just let her completely settle in. It's one of our rescues that we got from Ken over at the Orchid Supply Store. I did end up taking off one of the bottom leaves, and so she is left with one mature leaf and one that she is growing. And she does have some root nubbins that are starting, so this moss, I spray it in the morning and it's nice and dry by the end of the day. We have another one of our rescues here that is working on this leaf, and so far doesn't look like she's senescing anything. And then this one is the Phalaenopsis icing Venus that came with 2 spikes, has not re-bloomed for me since I've had her, but what she has done is grown this leaf, this juicy leaf, and is working on a new leaf, as well as has roots down in the pot. And then over here, look at her. This one is the Hawaiian treat with, look at all of those new growths coming. Look at that. Just beautiful. So there is no reason why one of those mini growths that she is growing should not bloom for us. And I did remount the Brassavola Little Stars onto a bigger mount, and since I've done that, she is just perked up. Those leaves are all opened up, and she's put out quite a few new growths. And then the 3 soft cloud Phalaenopsis all have leaf growth coming. This is a new leaf, finishing this one. And since I did remoss her with more moss, look at the root growth. We've activated some roots. So now I have to be super careful when I take her off the wall to make sure that I don't bump any of those. And our Sherry Baby Spike has reached the top of the shelf, and she is down there. So that is very exciting. I do have her staked for here just to remind me the spike is there. I'll probably put one more little Velcro tab here just to kind of secure her a little bit better, and then I will just let her do her thing. And then I was hoping that Sweet Memory would have one of these open, but she's like, nope, you're going to wait a little bit longer. So hopefully the next time we look at her, we will see that beautiful bloom. And then, so speaking of breaking things, so a few months ago, I did not realize that this one had a new spike right here, and I broke it, but look what she did. So she, a few weeks ago, decided she was going to start pushing it out, and there it is. Also, I have another spike in here. It is all curly-cued up in there because I could not keep up with the watering. So what I did is, she is in this ginormous pot, and when I say it's ginormous, it is huge. Let's see if I can get kind of an aerial view there for you. But it is primarily moss with perlite charcoal and some small bark mixed in for aeration. And since doing that, she is just, her leaves are staying nice and firm. The constantining has started to dissipate, so that is good news. And then this one here is the Snowflake. Let's see if I can get the name for you guys. So this is the Snowbird Sweet Spots, not the Snowflake. Sorry. I'm thinking of the, oh, what is that? I can't think of it. One of the dendrobiums called Snowbird. But her new growth back here is doing well. And then this new growth right here is still pushing on up. And then, of course, Scary back there. This is Wilhelmina, what is that? Wilhelmina Pinot Princess Scary. Her new growth is starting to catch up to the latest growth. And that is not up to the ceiling, it's just the angle, guys. And then this one is the Sun King, not the Sun King, oh, the Yellow King. Wildcat Yellow King that was in the tall pot. Well, again, was not able to keep up with the watering, so I put a cocoa liner in this one with moss, perlite, charcoal, small bark, and look at that. And I put her in the center because she does have a new growth right there, as well as a new growth peeking out over there. So I wanted to give her plenty of room and space to fill up this pot. And I'm going to have to move some things, so give me just a second. If it gets a little shaky, forgive me. But I have to figure out how I'm going to do this because, hold on, set this down on the table. So do you remember earlier I said about the 2 growths? Well, Miss Carmen, not only, let me just set her down because I just feel like I'm going to drop her. So this was the dendrobium that I initially broke the new growth off of. But we have 1 new growth there. And then look down there. We have a 2nd new growth. So this one is going to give us 2 new growths. So the orchid gods have blessed us with 2 growths on that. So hopefully the orange kiss will as well. And then I have my little zebra back here hiding in the corner. And my lemon gala, I think is how you say that, is working on a bud. So she's loving her little life up there. And then I'm not going to focus too much on the summer bloomer polychylas because I do have a separate video that is going to be coming out either this week or next week to show you guys all the growth going on in here. So if you would like to see that, go ahead and subscribe and look out for that video. Down here, of course, are the cattleyas. Look at this Sagrique wax ball. Look at her. Look at that growth. Well, I guess if I give it to you. And then I moved this one from the kitchen to in here. This is the one I can never say. This dendrobium right here. Because, now that's her last bloom she has left, but she had a bunch of blooms and they did not open up all the way. Like that lip just did not want to open up and come down. So I'm thinking perhaps if I gave her more light, maybe that's why that wasn't opening. And then of course Maxima back here is just doing her thing. And look at the root growth and the actual growth on my Aussie Sunset. Look at that. Oh my goodness, look at her. Look at all those roots. She is just doing so well. And then, of course, if you missed the ICPU 3rd unboxing, this is the Cattleya type that I thought that the growth on the right was not going to continue. Watered her and saw 2 new growths. So exciting. So I think she'll be fine. And there's something going on in the pot because, and I usually don't do this, but I can pick her up and she doesn't come out. She did not have a lot of stuff when she went in there. She was rather loose, thus the stake. And then Jane Austen has, let's see if I can find it. I know she has a new growth on her somewhere. Let's see. Where is it? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, no, it wasn't her. Sorry. She's just doing a lot of root growth. It was the Mackay. That right there. We have a new growth, and this growth is not fully matured yet. So she is, I'm going to call her recovered. She now just needs to gain the strength to bloom. And then my Cattleya zip, otherwise known as a Laelia zip, I believe is getting enough light because look at the anthocyanin on the sheath here. And she does have another sheath peeking out right there. So she may or may not bloom, but she's getting there. She's practicing at least. And then the Lois McNeil, her new growth back here. Look at that. Leaf is already starting to open, and she is going to make this one a bifoliate. So her growths are either monofoliate and bifoliate. So I'm going to honor the bifoliate, and I am going to move her in the basket once this one starts growing new roots, because I did her this way thinking that it might be 2 plants and that may get some new growth off of this, but it's not happening. And before the roots really take over the basket, I want to put her in the center. And I'm going to cut these growths off here, just right here at the rhizome, because that'll give her plenty of space. And then I'm just going to set her in the center and see what she does. The nodosa here, Brassavola nodosa, since I have been watering her more frequently, yes, I've remembered. Look how much these leaves are now opening. And even though they're Tourette leaves, they shouldn't be, you know, closed up. You should still be able to see them. So she's doing good. Then back there we have the Potnera Dick Smiths crossed with Horse Maxima that is finishing off this growth right here. And I don't know if she has new growth on her or not, but her roots, look, that aerial root is coming from her, and then she has another one hanging off to the end there. And then the green leopard here, let me show you her real quick. Boop, boop, boom. Pull her out. Look at the roots. Look at her roots. Look at that. She is just loving it. And she is also working on a new growth. So this one is a continuous grower. Most of the Cattleyas that I have are continuous growers. And it usually does take about 9 months to a year for everything to develop. Now I have found with the green leopard, she does grow a little bit quicker. So I think every 6 months she pushes out a new growth, because I've only had her for about a year, and that's the third new growth for her. And then the Iraqi Volcano Queen has, let's see if we can get in there, a new eye swelling right down there. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Maybe. Do you see it though? New eye. And her latest growth right here, those leaves are starting to harden off. So she's done with that one. And hopefully she'll start, and she did. I was just about to say hopefully she's going to start kicking out some new roots. And just as I said it, let's see, can you see that little root right off to the right? So that, let's see if we can get her to focus. There we go. But she's growing a new root. And then this one here is the Dewy Forest Kudos, that each growth is just getting stronger and stronger. And she has, let's see, a new growth right here. And I know I saw another new growth somewhere else. But again, she's a continuous grower, and she's got new, oh, there it is. And then there's the other new growth right there. So beautiful. My pink doll here is steadily climbing up and growing. And then this one is one of the rescues. This is a RLC, come on, focus it. There we go, RLC Tahitian City crossed with Louis Joyance. Well, that new growth, like I said, I'm good at breaking new growth. So I was moving her, didn't pay attention. Her new growth got caught on one of the nodosa leaves, and it just snapped. So she is senescing this, and even once she senesces this, I'm still going to leave her here. There is hope that she may push out another growth. Down here is just all of Les Phalaenopsis, and everyone is doing something. Now, let me tell you guys something. If you want a Phalaenopsis that is going to continually bloom for you, even if you cut the spike before it blooms, and this girl right here, this is the looseberry. She just insists on blooming, insists. So if you want a Phalaenopsis that's going to bloom for you almost all year, whether it be on the same spike or new spikes, get you a looseberry. I'll show you the other one. It also has a spike. This one here is the Soft Clouds. Look at this leaf, how big it is compared to the others, growing a new leaf. And then this Soft Clouds right here is in Leca, and look at the show we're about to have. Look at all those blooms, lovely. And then this one back here is the Tadia Blush Pink Lucky, that I propped this leaf up because it was kind of hanging onto this and I didn't want it to, so it's just on the tag. And then this one here, of course, is in Leca, and I think it's the same one as the one we saw before. This one is the DTPS Black Spot, bought at the local Lowe's. She grew this leaf, is growing this leaf, and look at all the roots she's producing into this pot now. She was growing downstairs under the Growth Star light for almost a year and just did nothing, and moved her up here under the Barinas, and boom, here we go. That's why I love the Barinas. And then this is the No ID Ken that I got from the Orchid Supply Store. Finally working on a nice new leaf, and I keep looking for a spike because the last time she pushed out a leaf, she decided she wanted to push out a spike as well. So got to keep an eye on her. She likes to bloom too. The Pultra, look at the new leaf. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at the shininess. And then the one here does have a little speck of something happening in there, so we'll have to wait and see. And then this one is the Sarai 2.0. Each leaf is getting bigger and bigger. And then of course Miss Andrea here finished this leaf and is working on that one. Then on the bottom down here, let's see if I can get down here. Look at my Gigantea leaf. Look at that. It's getting gigantic, as the name suggests, Trish. And then this is the one that we just unboxed. Loving her little life down here. This is another one of the Phalaenopsis from one of the ICPU orders. And let's look at this Aruna. Look, woo! Okay, see, this my hands, guys, I have to stop. I'm not going to pick up anything else. I'm just going to show you guys this one, but look how she's growing. And that new growth right there as well. So we'll get all this media back into her later. All of the seedlings are doing well. I'm scared to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. But one of the roots did manage to get down into the bottom of the pot. So that's an exciting thing. So Renanthera, oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Wrinkle Stylus Gigantea, again, just loving her life under the lights. And the Renanthera Monachica is doing well. And Nina, you had asked about how the roots react to the clay pot. When I see the roots trying to go aerial, I do prop it so it doesn't catch onto here, and so it's continued to grow. So can't really answer that. Again, one of the recent acquisitions for the ICPU. Let me rephrase that. And then if I can get up without falling, trying to do all this without cutting you guys off. So my Montana Big Sky here is just loving her life under here. So she has finished that growth. Keep saying I'm not going to pick anything up, and I keep picking stuff up. But she is now going to work on that new growth right there, which has been there for quite some time. And she does have another eye on this side, but it's not doing anything. And I did remoss this one as well because she was just drying out a little too fast. And then the Bellina here, look at this beautiful new leaf. Oh my goodness. And then my Speciosa Red, gorgeous. And this is an Inscriptiosis spike there. We'll see blooms from her soon. And then this one here is just doing her thing. Again, each leaf is getting a little bit bigger with each new growth. And then my Dendrobium No ID, she's a pink Phalaenopsis type. This new growth is doing rather well. And then Miss Queen Bear here has decided to go ahead and start on her leaf growth. And then this one here is Windy, growing her beautiful new leaf. And this one here, I think, because this is one of those new plastic, let me take her out, that I got from Ken. And I think I'm going to hang her because she is going to be a big girl, big girl. Down here, we have some good news and some bad news. So the good news is this is one of, well, this is several of the Dendrobium Bergana Green crossed with Crotatum Paradise. Well, one of these has, and you can probably see it already, we have a new growth coming. So one of the pieces is getting a new growth. Beautiful. My Falcata bulbophyllum, I'm pretty sure it's gone. I'm just going to leave it there and see what happens. And this one here is the same as, whoops, the same as this one. All of these canes are desiccated. So we got to say goodbye to that one. But this one here is still hanging on, as is this Phalaenopsis, continuing to grow her leaf nice and strong. So doing good on that front. And then, let's see, did we miss anything over here? No, we did not. Swing you over here. Miss Morgan is growing a new leaf, as is this one here, another pink no ID Phalaenopsis. And then this one is one of the white phals finally putting out a new leaf growth. Well, which one is this? I think this one is the Fembrata. Yeah, the Fembrata is, she still has her spikes. Now it looks like she might be trying to bud one. And then that spike down there. She doesn't have any new leaf growth that I can see at the moment. But you know what? She is still doing really well. And then of course, Miss Equestrius here is doing fine. I don't see any new leaf growth on her either, but she is working on roots. So I guess that's a good sign. Come on, get in there. Let's see, there we go. But look at this. Look at her. Look at that. And you know, I'm not a big fan of the white phals, but when they're white and then they have this interesting deep throat lip, look at the butterfly in there. Looks like a butterfly, doesn't it? Let me get in a little bit closer. Do you see it? Like a little yellow butterfly. Just gorgeous. Oh my goodness, she's just gorgeous. And then this one here is not doing much of anything. And I did lose the Violacea. So I can throw that one away now that I've shown you. And then of course my Phal Yoko started a leaf and now she's starting another one. So she's trying to bounce back. Looks like she's trying to senesce this leaf right here. We'll let her do her thing. Another good news is my Horus Maxima here has roots a-coming. I really don't want to move her and drop her because then I will definitely be upset with myself. But let's get down here on this bottom shelf. So I did put the Phal Chia E Yinlin in a much bigger pot to allow her to just spread her roots, because she was drying out rather quickly. And there is her new leaf coming right along. And I moved the Laudicea Discolor back here. She was sitting on the top of the bookshelf over here. And then these are the two no ID cakeys that look at the leaf first on this one. Look at that, juicy. And then this one here has finally decided to put out a new leaf growth as well. So she's of course growing roots. This is the no ID Harlequin. She has a new leaf coming. And then my Lucky Sun, look at this. Look at this. This is another one if you want blooms all the time. Not only does she have that spike, it is branching, and then she has a secondary spike coming over here and working on a leaf and working on roots. So this is the one that's really pretty pink one. If you like pink, get you one of these too. This is the Looseberry. As you can see, she started a leaf, and now look what we have, a spike. So I want her to focus on vegetation. Goodness, but no, she just keeps wanting to spike. And then this one back here is a no ID Pixie, I believe. Yeah, Pixie, growing a new leaf. And then this one back here, also a no ID, and I did not make a tag for her, so I have no idea what she looks like. I'm assuming she's either pink or like white with an interesting lip. Now, I am going to shut you off for a second because I want to show you the best. Okay, this one. So I saw this one about a year ago in the grocery store, and I was like, oh my goodness, I want it. But then I was like, oh, I'll come back and get it. And then I have not been able to find her since. And of course, now I can't get a good view of her because of the light. Ah, there we go. Look at this. This is the DPTS Moonlight. Oh my goodness, she's just so pretty. I mean, she is, look how pure and gorgeous that is. When I saw this, I thought about you, Patricia, and Nina, because I know both of you really enjoy your white phals. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Ignore the mess on the table. I've been watering. Oh my goodness. And she is a small plant for now, but the ones I've seen do get pretty big. So she should be a big girl at some point in her life. And while we're here, let's just look at these. So this one is the Phalaenopsis Young Home Godspeed. Look at the size of this leaf. And again, this is supposed to be a miniature. And then this one is one of the phals that we got from the last shipment of ICPU orchids. And the more I look at her, the more I think this is just temperature damage. She got too hot, too cold, something like that, because it's not spreading and there's nothing soft. So I don't think it's a virus. There's nothing soft in there. Everything is firm, especially now that she's gotten some water. And I am keeping her underneath the ceiling fan, which is right up there, just in case, to keep her nice and dry. And then let's go look at the big girl. Give me a second here. Look at this. So this is where Big Mama decided she was going to have to live for a while. I ended up just taking off the leaf that was senescing and kept this bottom leaf on here. Did leave her under the fan for a couple of days, again, just to make sure that everything was nice and dry, just in case water did get into the leaf joint. But we ended up losing her new leaf that was coming. It got damaged in shipping. But do you see that new leaf coming out? She's like, hold my coffee, I got this. And then, of course, my chains and diamond here. She didn't bloom for me last year. Whoops. There we go. She did not bloom last year. She's not growing. She only grew this one leaf. So I'm just waiting for her to decide what she wants to do. Let's just peek in there. Nope, don't see anything coming. She's got roots in the pot. She's doing fine. I guess she's just decided she wanted to take a little resty rest. And then I lost my variegated bear's claw, the one that had the cool texture. I let it get dry too long, tried to water it, and of course all the leaves fell off, so I don't know if I'm going to replace it or not. We'll have to wait and see. All right, guys, I am just going to leave it on Big Mama right here, and I hope everyone is having a wonderful weekend. Well, I guess the weekend's over. Have a great week. See you next time.